Welcome back to Hannity, and here's part two of my interview with Vice President Mike Pence from Washington earlier today.
Let me ask you about Obamacare. There was a report in The Hill this morning that said Republicans are leaning towards repairing Obamacare rather than replacing Obamacare. Now, from my understanding is if Congressman Price becomes the Health and Human Services Secretary, which I assume will happen, apparently there's a lot of discretion within the law. Is there going to be a repair, or are you still on replacement?
We are absolutely committed to follow through on President Trump's directive to repeal and replace Obamacare and to have the Congress do it at the same time.
So the media got it wrong again?
Once again, yeah. The President's made it very clear. We are having ongoing discussions with leadership of the House and Senate. But this is the President's leadership, Sean, I got to tell you. I mean, Obamacare was very much on the ballot when we saw the hardship that it was placing on families across this country, on businesses across this country. Premiums going up, in some cases more than 100% this year.
117% in Arizona.
The American people said we want to repeal Obamacare, and we're working with leadership in the Congress to do just that. But what President Trump said, that at the same time that we repeal it, we're going to bring forward through legislation and, to your point, through executive action, the kind of replacement that'll harness the power of the free market, give Americans more choices, that'll drive down the cost of health insurance and make it affordable for everyone. And we're going to do it all at the same time.
I noticed that you're with the President every day. You've been obviously an active part of the administration in what has been a very slow first 2 weeks. I'm kidding. A very busy 2 weeks. You've been with him side by side. He's also had many conversations with world leaders, including Vladimir Putin, Prime Minister Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Great Britain, the Prime Minister of Australia, Angela Merkel, and it goes on and on. You've been privy to these conversations.
I have.
There have been some reports that some of these conversations were contentious. Is that accurate, or did you find them friendly, straightforward? How would you describe them?
Well, I think the American people have a president that is candid with them and candid with the world. And his conversations with world leaders reflect a respectfulness, but a seriousness and directness that the people of this country are already used to coming from President Donald Trump. And the rest of the world is discovering that. Look, we've got a lot of challenges in the world. And in many respects, the last 8 years, the United States abdicated leadership on the world stage in one region after another and one relationship after another. And what President Trump has been about, engaging with these world leaders, is opening the door to conversations, to look for ways that we could work together with a focus on the American people first and America's interests first. But he's speaking as the way he always does, respectfully, firmly, directly, and frankly, I think the world welcomes it.
I think a lot of people view part of your role as Vice President, having been a Congress member for 12 years, you know a lot of the members of Congress, as to be a bit of a liaison between the White House and the Congress as it moves forward with legislation. Before you were sworn in and the President was sworn in, Congress raised the debt ceiling $9.7 trillion. There's talk of a $1 trillion infrastructure spending bill. I know a lot of Americans, especially after Barack Obama accumulated more debt than all other presidents before him combined, are worried about the debt, pay as you go, where does the money come from? How do you think Congress is going to work with this president? Do they believe in his agenda? Many didn't support him during the campaign. How is that relationship going, and how do you see them working together?
I think the relationship that the president has forged with not only the leadership but rank and file on Capitol Hill is going to serve the American people well. And with regard to all of these issues, President Trump said in the campaign that he has a three-part agenda: jobs, jobs, jobs. And we're focusing right now, whether it be repealing and replacing Obamacare, passing tax relief for working families and businesses, lowering the corporate tax rate in America.
Will it be 15% what the president wants, or 20% what the speaker wants?
Well, we're talking about all of that, but having the kind of trade deals that put the American worker first, all of these things, Sean, are going to move forward in a way, I'm confident, that's going to get this economy moving again. Not at the paltry rate under 2% that it's been for far too long, but really getting the economy standing tall again. All these debates over spending and tackling the national debt, meeting the needs of infrastructure at home, rebuilding our military, the President's committed to, all get a lot easier with a growing economy. And that's why the President and our whole team are working with leaders in Congress to jumpstart this economy. The executive orders that he signed, rolling back an avalanche of red tape and regulation, is just a start on the kind of policies that I'm confident are going to make America safe again, make America prosperous again, and make America great again.